Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast here by Asia's Weather Forecast, and this will be another forecast here on major winter storm Orlena that could potentially be our next blizzard here. We're talking very heavy snow all the way from the Great Lakes and Midwest to areas like New England and Maine. So we are talking over 1,500 miles of extremely heavy snow and over 2 feet of snow is potentially possible across areas in the Northeast here, like New York City, and as well even Maryland, as well Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So we are looking at a major storm here that can be even more significant than Winter Storm Gale when it comes to coastal threats. And as well, we're looking at, of course, over 60-mile wind gusts here. So we can maybe see some blizzard conditions for large cities like Philadelphia and New York City. If you guys want to know the timing, who can get the worst, who can get the blizzard conditions and all that throughout this video for Orlena, be sure to watch this video. And if you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments below. Again, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I really do appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So we just got a new update here from the National Weather Service here, and we now have winter storm watches in effect for areas like Boston and as well into New England here. We actually have winter storm watches as well near Portland, Maine, and as well near Berlin and Concord, New Hampshire. But we have alerts all the way from the Dakotas down to areas like Maine. So we are looking at over 2,000, just under 2,000 miles here from areas like North Dakota to Maine here. That's about really as far county here all the way to here. We are looking at over 2,000 miles of straight heavy snow here. As of now, these warnings have been pushed way more to the north here. So we now have over 30 million people under winter storm warnings here. We got warnings just outside New York City there. We got them in Princeton. We got warnings here for almost the whole state of Maryland here. We got winter storm warning across Washington, D.C., Annapolis, Baltimore, much of Virginia, as well as under a winter storm watch here. Winter storm warning. We also got those warnings there pushing to Roanoke, pushing into upper North Carolina near Boone here. So that's why we're really watching these areas just outside the Appalachians. We're seeing that very heavy snow. As we're going to be seeing a big-time coastal threat for New Jersey, a big-time coastal threat for Virginia, and in areas like Maryland, Annapolis, you guys may get extremely heavy snow, over 10 inches of snowfall. And now these watches continue to extend into areas like Reading, Pennsylvania. Of course, they push now into areas like the whole state of Connecticut and Rhode Island, and they have now pushed into Boston as well. We got winter storm warnings now in effect for Philadelphia, Allentown. You guys are right there in the winter storm warning there as well. Warnings, of course, for Baltimore. Warnings for State College, Williamsport, and Harrisburg. So we have very populated areas that have now just been issued under a winter storm warning, according to the National Weather Service on the eastern United States. The other warnings here for the Great Lakes really watching in the Midwest there for some very heavy snow. So we're going to be seeing two areas where we'll be seeing that heaviest snow right here in the Great Lakes, and as well right here in the Mid-Atlantic, and as well in the Northeast as well. But we're talking some big cities like Chicago, of course. You got Indianapolis just to the south of those warnings here. You got as well areas like Davenport and Milwaukee, and maybe even Madison, Wisconsin may be under a winter storm warning soon. But the advisories extend very widespread from the Dakotas to North Carolina, all the way to areas like the Mid-Atlantic coast here. So we have over 50 million people under some type of alert for major winter storm, maybe even blizzard here. So definitely something to keep in mind, because this could be causing some big time travel threats. Obviously, we got this may even affecting Groundhog Day here for winter storm, even blizzard or Orlena here. So definitely need to keep in mind if you're in any of these alerts here, or any of these alerts here for the winter storm Orlena, definitely keep in mind this will be very, very heavy snow, and it will be very windy, especially across the eastern United States. But let's go ahead and take a look now at the future radar. So let's start out with the Nantric kilometer here. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now. You kind of start seeing in the next few hours here that snow will start to develop across portions of the Midwest, like Chicago there, Indianapolis. We'll start getting that snow overnight and starting to see that snow as well converting into really some dangerous ice as well across areas like Iowa and Illinois. So right now you got the low pressure right there. You're seeing that very, very warmer air, some more warm air across this general region, where we will be seeing above freezing temperatures where that heavy rain is, including St. Louis, Missouri, even starting to see some heavy rain across portions of the Appalachians and the Mississippi River Basin. But as that high pressure there up in Canada is going to continue to bring in some surrounding very cold air in this general region here, as we go overnight, these temperatures will drop and plummet, allowing for the snow to absolutely just blow up here. And this is what I mean here. Heavy snow by tonight into portions of Indianapolis. Extremely heavy snow now across areas like Chicago, Rockford, southern Michigan, and as well portions of Wisconsin and Iowa. That snow will continue. Of course, more to the south, we'll start seeing some severe weather. Not a dangerous threat, but we could be seeing some scattered thunderstorms that could be quite significant, wise flooding and even wind. And of course, in the Appalachians here, we will start to see some snow developing right here in West Virginia and Virginia. But as you're not getting out into tomorrow morning, basically, things will continue to get messy. Snow stretching all the way from the Twin Cities to DC and Annapolis. There you got DC, starting to see that snow. Pittsburgh there, Roanoke. We're seeing some big cities that will start getting that snow converting by tomorrow morning here. They're going to continue to see some severe weather and some flooding to the south here, but to the north, we have that very cold air. Right here, we'll see some extremely heavy snow by tomorrow morning, and then getting into tomorrow afternoon. That snow will continue to move closer to the east coast here as that low pressure moves off the coast here. And that's going to bring in some extremely heavy snow for Atlantic City, Dover, Delaware, Annapolis, Baltimore, D.C., Alexandria, much of southern Pennsylvania. But this snow is still going to be up here in the Midwest. So it's going to be a long storm across the Midwest. But the thing is, as this low pressure, it's going eastward, right? It's going eastward. But as that low pressure, it's going to do a weird turn. It's going to as well push back to the west here, a backspin low pressure. And that's where we're going to start seeing that snow pushing more to the west here. And that's going to allow for more snow for Columbus, more snow for the Ohio Valley, and more snow for the Great Lakes here. So the snowfall totals in Columbus, Lexington, the Appalachians, and Tennessee, Pennsylvania, you guys will see a lot more snow than usual or from a typical storm, because this is going to be a backspin low pressure, allowing for this low pressure to go back to the west here, and it's going to bring that moisture once again for portions of the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes here. So that snow is going to last a lot longer, and it's going to stay all the way up into the next 48 hours. Look at that, how heavy that snow is going to be across New York City. We are talking bullseye, may get near 2 feet of snow for New York City. You guys are going to start getting that snow in the next 30-ish hours there, and it's still there the next 50 hours. So that's quite a ton of snow, up to 20 straight hours there, and it's still there by the next 60 hours. So we're talking extremely heavy snow, over 24 hours of snow, 24 hours straight of snow for New York City there, portion of the northeastern coast near Long Island, New Jersey. So it's going to be a very large coastal threat for sure. Again, there you see the next 12 hours, that snow is going to start developing across areas like the Ohio Valley as that cold air pushes into tomorrow morning. And there you see that snow rushes into areas like the mid-Atlantic there, across New Jersey, Pennsylvania. The whole state of Pennsylvania may be under snow at one time. Same thing with Indiana. That's how large this storm is going to be. Look at that. Almost the whole state of Pennsylvania is going to be seeing some snow. Same thing with New Jersey there. And there you see the heavy snow continuing to develop here, because that cold air, that high pressure right here is going to allow for some very dry air across areas like the upper northeast, like the Adirondacks, like New England. That's why the snow is going to be very limited to the coastal areas, because that's where we're seeing that low pressure with all that moisture. So it's going to be very wet snow, a lot of humidity and moisture in the atmosphere. But with the high pressure right here bringing that deep cold air, which makes the storm possible, it's going to be bringing some very dry air. So that's why we won't be seeing too much snow for upstate New York, or for areas like Syracuse or anything like that. So that's why this will be more of a coastal threat, like New York City there, Long Island, New Haven, Providence. Obviously, you got Boston as well. Even areas like Richmond may get some very heavy snow. Wilmington as well, Salisbury, Annapolis. So we're talking a potential pretty big coastal storm here. But look how large this storm will be. Snow from half foot as far west as Madison, Wisconsin, all the way to areas potentially into Boston. We're talking over 1,500 miles of areas that can get over half a foot or even areas that can get more than a foot. So it's going to be an absolute mess for millions and millions, actually well over 40 to 50 million people, maybe even close to 80 million people, because you got Chicago, New York City, the tri-state area, all the way up to Maine, where we have some type of alert right now. Up to 10 plus inches of snow expected there for Chicago. The snow continues to increase across areas like off Lake Michigan there, and Wisconsin, about around a foot of snow for Milwaukee expected there, about half foot there for Madison. May see just near 15 inches of snow across upper Indiana there. Indianapolis, you guys may get around half a foot, looking at maybe a foot of snow in Columbus according to the NAM 3 kilometer. Cleveland may get over half a foot. Look at Toledo may get half foot of snow as well, and this snow is going to stretch all the way to the southeast here due to the backside of this low pressure. It's going to bring in all that. It's going to bring all that moisture on the backside to the south. And the south's going to be very, very cold in the 20s and even teens in some areas here. So we're talking some potential snow across areas like Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia. We will definitely have to keep in mind for some snow down there. But Cincinnati, a few inches there. And look at the Appalachian Mountains, is going to bring in some very heavy snow. Looking at maybe half foot or more across D.C. May get 6, maybe even 8 inches of snowfall. Look at New York City. New York City's right in the bullseye. Usually you don't see New York City right in the bullseye, but literally that's where we've seen potentially the heaviest snow this whole storm in general, up to 2 feet of snow across the Appalachians. Can see some scattered areas in Pennsylvania that can also get around 15 plus inches of snow. But according to the Europeans, similar things. The bullseye's going to be right in eastern Pennsylvania and much of New Jersey into southern New York. But look how watch where this is, all the way from Iowa into areas like Maine, so that's around 1,500 to 1,800 miles. But going to be seeing additional maybe 8 inches of snow for Wisconsin. The snow's first, it's starting to develop right now as we speak across Chicago. We're starting to see those first snow showers develop here. So this is the beginning of a very long storm there in Chicago. 10, maybe 11 inches of snowfall there. Up there near Indianapolis, 6, maybe 8 inches of snowfall there as well. Around 8 inches there for Columbus. Around 4 inches there for Cleveland. Down to even the southeast, we may see near 5 inches for Lexington as well. Even in the Appalachians from the Great Smoky Mountains, we may get around half foot as well. 3 to 5 inches there for Asheville. Maybe even 8 inches there for Boone, North Carolina. Richmond looking at maybe potentially 4 inches of snowfall. Roanoke around 8 inches of snowfall. Areas like Welch, West Virginia around 7 inches of snowfall. Pittsburgh around half a foot. But look at the big bullseye right here. 19 inches there near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. May get around 15 or more according to the European for Philadelphia. Maybe 10 inches there for D.C., a foot or more for Baltimore, around 15 inches there for New York City there, and around half a foot for Hartford there. And let's go ahead and take a look now at what we actually have detailed-wise. Around 18 inches there for New York City there. Even Atlantic City may get half foot of snowfall. That's absolutely crazy there. State College around a foot of snow. But look at this extremely big time snow. This kind of looks like windstorm Gale, except Gale obviously was kind of cut off into mainly these areas. This is kind of what Gale actually really did, affected these areas. But this is going to be a lot bigger. This will be 10 times bigger than Gale. Not snowfall total wise, but actually lengthwise and how big it is. Because this is coming all the way from the Dakotas, and it's going to bring in heavy snow across areas like the mid-Atlantic, which Gale did actually not do, and it's actually going to bring in snow all the way to the deep south, like Georgia and Tennessee, which obviously Gale did not do. Around 14 inches there near New Haven, Connecticut. Hartford around 6 to 8 inches of snowfall there. Areas the whole state of Rhode Island may get over 8 inches of snowfall there. Areas like Worcester and Boston around 13 plus inches, and as well look at Maine. The whole state may actually get more than 6 inches of snow. But let's go detailed wise. See, like Chicago around 10 to 11 inches of snowfall there. But right here in the border, just south of Joliet, we actually may see 13 inches of snowfall. But look at Indianapolis, around 6 to 7 inches of snow. Look at areas like Cincinnati, 5 inches there. Dayton, around 5 to 8 inches of snowfall there. Columbus, around 8 to 9 inches of snowfall. Detroit, around 2 inches there. And as well, Kalamazoo might get around 5 inches. Milwaukee, around 8 inches there. and Rockford around 7 inches as well. But this will kind of stop. But Springfield, you guys won't get much. But look at this. It's going to be a big time storm for areas in northern Illinois there, northern and central Indiana, and as well central Ohio. And another look here, look at these areas. New York City, 14, it's even 18 inches of snowfall there. Dover, 10 inches around upper Maryland as well. Look at that in Pennsylvania, 17 to potentially 21 inches of snow, so it definitely will be a big threat for areas like Reading, Allentown, Scranton, the Poconos region, the upper Appalachias. So we are looking at a significant storm. And I know I've been mentioning potential blizzard conditions, so imagine these snowfall totals but with extremely strong winds. So this is actually wind gusts here, a 10-meter here. In the next 42 hours, winds will be kind of calm at the beginning here. So this is, of course, I believe this is getting into Monday. So it's kind of when the snow's really becoming a big threat across these areas in the tri-state area and as well portions of the Northeast. But we're getting 31 to potentially even 35 mile-an-hour wind gusts here. So it's going to be an absolute crazy storm. But look at that. Getting into now Tuesday morning here. Tuesday morning, we'll be seeing some significant snow actually. Let's actually take a look at what we're going to be seeing Tuesday morning. So this is actually Tuesday morning here. Look how heavy, look how that snow's going to be. Really decent to moderate snow there, and we're at that point we'll be seeing around a foot of snow on the ground. So we're talking blizzard conditions. We're gonna be seeing this wind picking up the snow from the ground and blowing it around there. So a blowing blizzard basically. 52 mile-an-hour wind gusts there across portions of actually around Long Island. This is actually knots, not miles an hour. So this is actually 60, maybe even 65 knots, which is around category 1 force winds here with snow on the ground. So we will potentially see blizzard conditions. Blizzard warnings, we will see. There's always a possibility, maybe right in dead center, the tri-state areas where we may see the worst winds and the worst snow. So this could be right in the bullseye and hit New York City very hard. But hope you guys enjoy the video, and bye guys.